And welcome back to the IMG Sports Weekly Football Year in Review. I'm Pep Fernandez. Now we go to the Arrowhead Athletic Conference, and we got to first start with some changes taking place with San Gorgonio. There's a new head coach at San G. Rich McClure, who guided the Spartans to a CIF Southern Section title in 2018, has departed, and he is now the new head football coach at Heritage High School. So congrats to Coach McClure. He was always a good guy and a friend to IEMG. But taking his place will be a former San G guy who has also been very, very good to us here on Sports Weekly, and that is former Indian Springs head coach Chris Chaddick. He guided the Coyotes to a spring league championship for Indian Springs. Also led the Coyotes to the semifinals one season in CIF. Well, now he will take over at San Gorgonio. He's a San G guy. He went to school there. Now he's returning there. He was also an assistant coach. He had some great success at Indian Springs High School, as we mentioned, getting the Coyotes to the playoffs, getting them to a league championship. They went 6-4 last year, but now he replaces head coach Rich McClure at San Gorgonio. And this San G squad last season went 2-8 and 0-3 in the San Andreas League. So he's trying to get San G back to their winning ways. In fact, Coach Chaddick, as we mentioned, was an assistant coach at San G back in 2016 when San Gorgonio won a CIF Southern Section title. So Coach Chaddick has been at San Gorgonio, and when they've had a lot of success, now he's trying to get those glory days to return to San G. Here's head coach Chris Chaddick.
Absolutely, they can be there. It's just a matter of belief, a matter of extreme ownership, a matter of making sure that the ego goes away and they just work as hard as they possibly can. If they do, all things come together. The talent is there. They just got to believe, they got to buy in, and we'll be all right. We talk about the history of the past, but we say, hey, those guys in the past did it so that the legacy, for their legacy of the future, so that we could carry on that San G Spartan pride, that GMOB pride. Oh man, I learned a lot. The number one thing is you can't do everything yourself. You got to learn to delegate. That's why we have a great staff over at San Gorgonio High School. Some of the guys came with me over from Indian, like Coach Headland, and then we got some new guys like Coach Lawler, college legend, Andy Martinez, Riverside legend, Montre Moore, San G CIF champion, and so many more. Mike Clark, who coached at Eisenhower, head coach there, won a CBL title. So I mean, it's a really good staff. I'm very excited. Number one, we re-league, so anything can happen in the league we were in, so that gives us like a great opportunity. Number two, I just think it's a change is sometimes good. They needed a little excitement, a little juice in there, and that's what they got. So I think they're going to react well, and we're going to have a turnaround season. We will make playoffs.
Coach Chaddick will have a new starting quarterback this season for the Spartans. That'll be Peyton Clark. He's a transfer from Colony High School in Ontario. We got our first look at Coach Chaddick, and there's Peyton Clark, the QB, during some passing league action, including this one against Yucaipa High School. Peyton says he's hoping to lead Sam G to some victories this season. Here's Peyton Clark, quarterback for the Spartans.
You know what? We really spread it out today. We showed a lot of different looks and a lot of different things that we usually like to run. We threw the quick passes, we threw the deep passes. We got through all of our progressions, and most importantly, we succeeded and we had fun. It's extremely important to be able to build that timing and connection, because once the season really starts and like the summer really starts to run around, the time you have to really hammer down on your timing and your route running as receivers and a quarterback, they start to dwindle down a little bit as you prepare for other teams and what they run, and to be able to counteract what the defense does. I never liked losing, never did. One of the stories I always like to tell is I used to stack the deck when I played Uno when I was a kid. So I never liked to lose, but even the good reps and the bad reps, we take them as learning opportunities, and we just work every day to continuously get better.
Over at Arroyo Valley High School, head coach TJ Stanford is back for year number 2 as head coach of the Hawks. Last year, Arroyo Valley went 2-8 overall, 1-4 in league play, but They lost 3 games by 1 touchdown or less. So Royal Valley was highly competitive and had a chance to win a bunch of those games. They should be strong with a couple of those receivers right there. Joaquin Morris, Ronald Weathers. They should be tough on the outside and keeping opposing secondaries very, very busy and occupied. Here's head coach TJ Stanford and one of those top receivers, Ronald Weathers, talking about this upcoming season and trying to build off what they started last year at Arroyo Valley.
Picking up our offense from last year, growing on what we built, our foundation, and a team coming together. It's going to be a fun team to watch.
I think we did an interview just about this time last year. From that point to where we are right now, standing here today, how far has the program progressed, you feel like, in your eyes?
Well, it's night and day. Last year we started 5 sophomores on the offensive line, 3 of whom have never played before. We were a super, super young team. They stuck together. We've got most of the nucleus back, and so it's night and day.
We're going to talk to Ronald Leathers here in a moment, but what did you like offensively? I saw you played a couple different quarterbacks. Ronald had several touchdown catches. What did you like offensively?
I like that they're picking up the scheme and they understand that if the ball's not going to them, they still have to run hard. They still have to run their route so they can get other people open. And when it's their turn to eat.
Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you've got Bloomington on the schedule. I think it's still a league game. Is that correct? And, how is that when you guys do 7-on-7? You try not to, show all your tricks and put everything out on the table? How does that work?
Yeah, we just try and be as vanilla as we can, but still work on things. And, they are a league team, and, they came out and played us really hard.
I've asked you this before, but Ohana, what does that mean to you, and what does it mean when you, try to get that Ohana battle cry for this program?
Ask him.
All right, Ronald. You got Ohana, too. I see it on the shirt as well. What does it mean to you? Because I know Coach introduced it last season.
Ohana means family. So, one thing Coach Stanford really did when he came, we weren't really strongest. We weren't a family. And when he came, everybody fixed up. We all get along. We're brothers, and we love each other.
I know he's holding you guys accountable and, getting focused. Even if you, make not a great play, you focus on the next play and be encouraging and supportive. How have you seen the team just kind of, transform and become positive and encouraging and feel like maybe you guys will have a winner this season?
Yes, we will. One thing our coach teaches us is discipline, because without discipline, you can't get nowhere in life. So our coach teaches us discipline, and we all come together. We pick each other up. We tell quarterback if you make a bad throw, tell him we got the next one. Receiver drop the ball, tell him we can catch the next one. If I make a mistake, everybody, like my buddy, tell me, pat me on the back, tell me make it up, next play.
All right, let's wrap it up like this as we take a look at some of the Week 0 games coming up. August 18th is that first Friday night, but I will say August 17th, that Thursday night, we have a game too. That is Arroyo Valley taking on Arrowhead Christian as they kick off the season. We also have Aquinas on the road at Oak Hills. Cajon playing on the road at Arborview. That is Las Vegas, Nevada. They've got a very tough non-league schedule again for the Cowboys. Then Chris Chaddock will make his San Gorgonio debut on the road at Canyon Springs in Moreno Valley. San Bernardino will be at home for Fontana. Pacific on the road at West Valley and Hemet. And Indian Springs, Marcus Williams making his coaching debut on the road out in the desert against Cathedral City. So those are the games coming up in Week 0. And again, this is a football year in review, and we will have a football preview show for 2023 coming up in the month of August to get you ready for the upcoming high school football season. Make sure you subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel. My name is Pep Fernandez, and we'll see you next time right here on IEMG.